All right, so today I was going to do a quick video on pointing your armor to your soft kits, your gambeson. I got these new titanium arms from a Ukrainian manufacturer, maker, who's, I can't actually pronounce her name. I honestly don't know how to say it because it's, but I will put a link to them below in the page. So if you're looking for awesome armor, I would highly encourage working with this guy. He did a great job, communicated well, was recommended by multiple people. Affordable as affordable is for something like titanium. I got a full arm kit, so I got including shoulders with steel elbows. But right now I'm just pointing my lower arms to try to try these out. And I figured since I'm going to do this, I might as well make a video about it. So what are you going to need? Well, you're going to need your armor, obviously. You're going to need your gambeson, and then you're going to need point. So point is basically just a leather patch with the 2 holes cut in it. This one has 4 for some reason. With the string, you're going to tie this to your armor, and then you're going to sew to these little pointed spots to your gambeson where you want to have it. So the other thing that I do, trick I do that I think Brian Chabot showed me, is I use a silver Sharpie. I will put my gambeson on, slide the armor up where I want it to be, and I will mark it with this silver Sharpie where I want it to rest on my arm or wherever part of armor I'm doing. This allows me to then, when I put the point on, to know exactly where I need to sew it. So I've already done that. I actually took these points. The cool thing is these points actually came with the armor, so it came with points. I didn't actually know that was happening. You usually have to make them, so that was great. I actually cut one of these in half for the lower arms. I didn't need as big a point to support it, and I just need the 2 holes, so I managed to get 2 points out of 1, which is great. The other thing you're going to need is a needle and thread. So needles, thread. What do I use for thread? I use B50 Dacron. This is a bowstring thread. You can get this on Amazon. I think it's like 10 bucks. For this spool, and I've had this forever. In 2 years I've used 1/3 of it at most, so I think it's going to last me a very long time. I shoot recurve archery, and this is what my bowstrings are made out of, so it's super strong, great, and it's pretty easy to work with, so I highly recommend this as an option. You can get it in black and other colors. I just happen to have white thread. So what I'll do is I will put this, sew this on, the point on. I'll show you at the end of it. I'm probably not going to film me sewing it because this could be a long process. I'm not very handy and I got big, clumsy hands. And then I'll come back when it's done and I'll show you what we've accomplished. All right, so we're back and here's my gambeson. You can see I've sewed on here the new point. Now, because I have steel arms and I have titanium arms now, I actually have 2 different lower arm points based on where those pieces of armors fit and where the holes are drilled in them for it. So I actually finished sewing this on. You can see it's nothing fancy, it's just stitched on. I tend to stitch and leave a lower pocket available instead of going all around all 4. Stitch the upper part and the sides. That way if this thread pulls out, if this string pulls out, I need to replace it, it's easier to get underneath it. And so far I've had no problems with this staying on like that. Other people will stitch all the way through. It's really, I think, preference. So I've got that on there. You can see I put a T on these with that silver Sharpie. So what I'm going to do is all of my new arms, I'm going to put a T for titanium. So if I'm wearing my titanium arms for dueling or I decide to go lighter than the melee arms, I know which points to use, or if the people are helping armor me up, it's a little bit easier to tell them do the ones with T's or the ones without. So that's it. So you're going to take that. My arm's basically going to slide on here when I'm wearing it. You'll slide these strings through those holes, tie them on. That's it. That's as hard as it is to point your armor. Now, the one thing I'll say is be comfortable experimenting. The nice thing is this is just sewn on. As much of a pain in the butt as it can be to put on there, you can just snip it, take it off, and there's a good chance that after your first couple fights, you're gonna go, oh, that doesn't fit right, adjust it, remark it, redo it, right? I don't know if this is perfect. This is where it is right now. We'll see after I mess around in the kit for a little while, maybe fight in it and see, if it slides, if it moves, and then go from there. Most of the time I find that so far when newer people tend to point their stuff lower than they think, and as the gear gets heavy or stretches, it slides down a little bit, can pinch around the wrists, for example, with arms. So I tend to take wherever I think it's gonna be and I move it up like an inch or so. And that seems to work pretty well for me when I'm pointing new stuff. You can see the other point here is a little worn out, more stretched, but it's still on, it's holding up real well. So I have my steel lower and my titanium lower arms. Hope you find this helpful. I'm going to do a full review on this kit once I get a little more detail in it. So far, I really love it. I love the shaping of it. It seems to be contoured really well. Good straps. It fits really well. I just like the overall design. That's the wrong arms. It would be this one. Yeah, and we'll give it a try and see how it goes. Label it as far as my gear, so I know that I don't lose it. Something I'm going to do is inside all of these, I'm going to write my name or put a little piece of tape in there or something like that. Just another tip, because it's amazing. Even though we all have unique kits, sometimes like this will look just like someone else's, and people will grab an arm and walk away with it. You know, when they're packing their own kit, put your initials inside of it somehow, so people don't forget. And then you can also label it left and right. That's a good idea to do with pieces like shoulders, the upper arms that kind of look the same. So you're just not kind of trying to remember which one goes where, and you're having to tie it on, untie it. I know that happens to me, so I'll tend to label left and right and put my name inside of these, so they don't actually get walked away with, and I know which arm they go on, because sometimes I'm not all that bright. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, all that wonderful stuff. Check out the link below for merchandise. You can buy my own gear there, or you can buy Nightmares, which is my local team. And if you happen to be in the area, come see us this Saturday. We'll be fighting at Blood and Steel in Franklin, New Hampshire at the Renaissance Fair. Should be a really good time. If you have any questions or none of this makes sense, let me know. Glad to make more videos or leave comments to help clarify with anything anyone needs. Have a good one.